What's up, guys? It's Fake Thriller. Today I'm bringing you a quick video showing you the like a comparison for the different sights possible for the AK47. I'm starting with the AK47 because I was most curious about the different effects. So if this video goes over well and you guys like it, I'll move on to the other guns. But starting out, I'm going to use the gun naked, no sights whatsoever, and show you that spread. Alright, let's take a look. Now you can see without the sight the grouping is pretty tight, just a small bit of spread. Moving on next, we got the red dot sight. I'm going to aim for that same crack there. Now this has a little bit more spread than just firing it without a sight on it at all. Next we're moving on to the reflex sight. Reflex sight seems to hold on a little bit more, keeps the spread a little tighter. Don't worry, I'm going to have side-by-sides for at the end of the video for all of these. Next we're moving on to the ACOG scope, and what a lot of people expect is this is where the gun really starts to get away from you. This first clip worked out pretty well, but with all of these I fired 3 full clips to try and get some consistency down, and sure enough the ACOG scope really started to get away from me. Now this burst stayed well together, but you can see the very first shot that I fired was on that one crack. That's where I was aiming. The gun pulled hard to the right and stayed off to the right, so that could be a problem. Now this third shot, the gun just totally gets away from me. You can see the line, it pulled way up into the right, and ended up staying up in the right towards the end. The last attachment we're looking at is the thermal. Nothing special here, sort of what you'd expect. Full auto thermal scope, or infrared I should say. The grouping is actually pretty good, but like the ACOG scope, and as you would probably expect, when you're going full auto scoped in like this, the gun eventually does get away from you. And you can see here this one pulled up and to the right again and ended up staying bunched up to the right. Now all of these tests are done against a wall, so obviously the aim assist isn't taking any effect. But it's sort of what you could expect to find out in the field when you get into a gunfight. So now let's take a look at the side-by-side results. Okay, here I got the first 3 attachments here. On the left I have the naked gun, 33 1/3. In the middle I got the red dot sight, and on the right I have the reflex sight. You can see probably the best grouping is the naked, you know, the iron sights, and then the reflex sight, and then the red dots seem to bounce around a little bit more. Now, none of these results are going to really sway anybody. It's all down to personal preference, but I figured I'd throw it out there for you guys. The next thing I want to look at is just your overall view when you are looking down the sights, just exactly how much you can see and how much it varies with each different sight. Alright, this next part actually surprised me a lot when I got down to comparing the images, because I always thought having a red dot sight or a reflex sight increased the amount of zoom, but in fact, as you're about to see, it doesn't at all. I'm standing in the exact same spot for each picture, and I'm aiming at the exact same spot, and nothing changes. So I'm going to just show the pictures. I'm going to fade them in and out of each other, sort of let the results speak for themselves, and hopefully we all learn a little bit. Now the only thing that does change, the only slight change that there is sort of how much space on the screen your gun and its attachment sort of take up. And without doing crazy amounts of math, I'm not going to be able to figure out what percentage of the screen is blocked by what sight, but it's obvious to see that having the gun naked gives you probably the biggest field of view. And then if I had to say, I would say the red dot sight takes up more room at the bottom, but the reflex sight sort of is taller. There's a top part just above the lens itself that's a little thicker, so you might have a smidge more trouble tracking someone with the reflex sight. But like I said before, it's all down to personal preference, and the last thing we're going to look at is these 3 images compared to the ACOG sight. We're going to sort of leave the infrared out of it. Now, as you can see, the ACOG actually is the exception to the rule. It obviously has more zoom. I'm standing in the same spot, looking at the same spot on the wall, and the screen is zoomed in a little bit, and that's kind of the idea behind the ACOG. But in turn, the ACOG I think clearly takes up the most room. So that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the comparison of the different sights that are attachable to the AK-47. If you guys like this video, be sure to leave a comment. Let me know, and maybe in that comment tell me which gun you'd like to see me do next. I'm not gonna have to go into it with the zoom and everything in the next video, but it would be interesting to see sort of like the different spreads and stuff like that on different guns. So let me know, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.